Okay, hi student. This is Architecture 122. I show you how to do for assignment 7. Like I told you on Canvas, pronto, maybe half an hour ago. This is assignment number 7 and it is the shadow and the shape. You need to read chapter 7 before you start with assignment 7. It's easier then. So today I will show you instruction how to do it, and I show you few of reference for all of the homework assignment number 7. Okay, so first of all, I need you to read chapter 7 before you start, and we have many steps to continue to do. The first one, I need you to know a little bit about the math and what is the trapezoid shape. And you should know that the two parallel lines not equal length. And after that we have the other two unparalleled lines, but it have equal. Okay, so you should know this one. Just review some knowledge you learned from high school, and all of this assignment you need to use for trapezoid method to draw the shadow or the shape. Step 2, you must know the sunlight come from 45 degree up direction with the plane or the top plane, and after that 45 degree down direction in the elevation. You can see on the picture later, but just know this one first. Step 3, you must review chapter 7 like I told you before you start with assignment, so you know some of the way or the techniques how to draw the shadow beside with this assignment. Step 4, you need to create direction point from the plane, that means the top plane, and you project down to elevation like the way you draw view of perspective before. It's similar like that. You need to drop down or you project down to elevation before you draw or you create the trapezoid shape. After that you need to look at the side from the trapezoid to make a shadow or the point. After that to connect the point from the shadow together to make a line. Step 5, after you create many points from the plane and from elevation, you will produce many points. If you do the point together for the next point close with the previous point, and you create many points like that, and it make the shadow more accurate. That means you can do better shadow area. So when you do many points, you can get the shadow. It's very smooth, and you can see that's very clear on example later. Okay, so for example, this is assignment I give you. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tasks, and each of them you have the plane. This is the plane, the top plane, and this is the elevation. So each of the task one, you have one floor plan and one of elevation, same thing. One roof plan and one elevation, same thing. This is the plan, this is elevation, plan, elevation. Like I told you, the light coming to the plane is come to 45 degree up, that means like this. And in elevation, the sunlight coming down is like this. It's shown on the example later. So just let you know like that. This is 5 tasks, and you need to create the shadow for each of them on elevation. For example, this one you need to create for this shadow right here. Same thing right here, right there, right in the elevation. Because the elevation is the height from the building, so you can see the shadow. Okay. This is the plan. Just for you know what the shape or what the elevation is. So if you look at this one, you can see, you can guess the elevation like this. This one, the roof plan, so the elevation look like this. The center right here, that means the ridge point right there. and it slop down this side, slop down to this side. I remember you do one of the roof line before, so make sure that you understand this one similar like that. And the hidden line, this show some of the line from the building is not in the same plane. For example, you see this line is solid line, is the roof line here, overhang. After that, the building in the hidden line, that's this part right here, is, you know, it behind from this one. It's not the same plane. And you can see the small hidden line, that means the small one right here. So it's right there. It's right there. If you project down, you can see the lines right there. Project down, you can see like that. Okay. So right now you have two parts, the plane and the elevation. After that, you need to create the shadow on elevation. Now the way how to do, for easy to know where is the level from elevation, where is the face from the building. I show the color like this, for you can see that, for example, the pink color, this is the top roof, and after that you can see the blue color is the second big part behind of the overhang right here. After that, the yellow is very deep part, low part inside. You can see this one. So the way I show you elevation, the color, for make sure that you easier to recognize which one is the part in the top one, this one is the building elevation, something like this. For example, the yellow part right here, you can see that's here. That means the building behind from the roof one. This is the point from the roof with the different angle. You can see that's the point right here. They can do like this, the point right here like this. Okay. So the main color, just for you easy to look at the building. For example, this one, you look at the top, and the yellow is this part, and the blue one is in the center. You look at, you can project down, and you can see the blue one is like this, and the pink one is the one, it's just the high elevation look like this. Okay. This one just for reference, for you see on the top from the homework assignment. So the color just mentioned with you, some part in front, some part behind, something like that on the projects. Okay. Okay, so now we start with the draw for the shadow. So first one, I select one of elevation, number 1, and I have you how to draw for the shadow. After that, you do the other part. I give you some reference, and you just follow step by step to do that. Okay. So now we go with task number 1. So before we start everything, I need you to remember the sunlight coming to up north 45 degrees with the plane. That means with this one. And down 45 degrees with the elevation. This means this part. So I saw 2 arrows right here. That means the sunlight coming to the plane and coming to the elevation. Elevation down 45 degrees. Roof plane up to 45 degrees. You see the arrow like that. That means the sun come here, up, down. And the second one, I need you to remember this is the trapezoid. This is the shape from the trapezoid. You can see that 2 lines right here parallel but not equal length. Okay, and 2 other sides, it is not parallel but equal length. So this is the trapezoid, and during the time you draw the shadow, you use this one on the top. That means the shape from the trapezoid. When you create the point for the shadow, you need to remember this one. 2 lines parallel, not equal length. 2 lines is not parallel but equal length. Okay. So now, start with the first point. In the plan, for example, this is the first point. You select the first point in the plan, project down to elevation. You got this one. After that, you create the trapezoid. The red one is the trapezoid. And the point in the corner from trapezoid, this is the point from the shadow. So basically, right now, you create 1 point from the shadow. Remember this one. Continue with many points close together. So you, for example, this is number 1. Now you can create number 2 right here, for example, and I give number 2 right here. When you do number 2 on the plan, you need to project down to elevation. It is here. So this is number 2. After that, you create the trapezoid. This is trapezoid for number 2. And the point from the trapezoid, this is the second point from the shadow. You continue with that with many points on the plane. Project down to elevation. And after that, create trapezoid, and on of the point you create from the trapezoid, this is the point from the shadow. When you have many points like that, connect together, and now you have the shadow right there. You need to shape, or you need to do from the color right here for make the shadow. Now in very end one, you can see this one, you project down is right here or right here, both. Okay, so when you create the trapezoid, it's right here for the shadow point. This one is the other shadow point right here, and you go here, that's mean from here to here, and another shadow. After that, this is the building. You see that this is the height from the building, so you go straight to the crown line. This is the round line. So now you need to shadow right here and right here also. If you go back with the definition on chapter 7, the shadow is on the projects. For example, this is the objects, and you make the shadow right here. You call that the shade because it's in from the objects. It's in object. But now the park right here is not in the objects. It's in, something else outside from the object, and you call this is the shadow, and this is the shadow. This is the shadow, and this one is the shade. So this is the shadow because it's not in the objects, but this one is in the object, so you call this one in the shade. Okay, so everything you need to do, you need to you make a different color, or you need to shadow on of them right here, and you call that is the shadow or the shade. So not yet, this one just the part from the outside line here. It's not count for the inside one, hidden line. And you can see the hidden line right here. This is the part. If you project down, it's in here. It's in here. That's the part right here. Okay. And the inside here, you look at the small hidden. You can project down, and this is right there. If you project down right there, it's this one. It's the curve right here. It is part from the little more small right here. Okay, so now we start with the big part, so now we continue with the small part right here. This is the second part. So you start with this one. If you start from here, you okay. However, if you start from here, it's right there, and it's continue with the shade, the shadow you create before. So I'm start with this one. So now by this one, you drop down, you project down, it's here because this belongs to the small part right here. You here create the trapezoid, and you got this line, this point. One, continue with the second one, drop down, it's right there, create the trapezoid, and you have two, second point, continue with many point, and the end right here because this is the end from the small part, so you create that one in the end right there. So now after you create like this, you have this point, this point, this point is the shadow point. You combine together, and you get the shadow right here for the little part inside. Combine both of them here. You can shade this and the one you create before, so you have the shadow look like this. This is the shade and the shadow right here. This is the shadow, for example, in here. After you create, you color that, you shade that, and you can get this one. Okay, so basically you done number 1, and this is task 1 I show you how to do. So you see that's on of the part when you start until the end. You use trapezoid. You do trapezoid and create the point from the shadow. You see that's on of the trapezoid right there until the end. Same thing. So that's why you need to know trapezoid. This one equal, and this one parallel when you create everything. And after that, you get the point from the shadow from there. Combine on of the point from shadow together, and you you color or you shade that, and you got the shadow. Okay, that's the task number 1. After you do, you need to shade that, and you see the color look like this for task number 1. So now continue with that, because we have 5 for total. This one you done, I show you how to do. So now this one, you need to create by yourself. However, I give you some hint for this one, and this one. So this one you done. Continue with the second one. This is the third one. This is the hardest one. So that's why I show you the one before. And after that, I use the color for you not confused between the trapezoid I created. And don't forget the point from the roof plane. You can see that's the point right here. That's the main point. They show in here, there. Point right here is right there. Point right here is right here. So that's why remember the main point on the plane. And after that, you need to create from the main point, because the main point, you look at this concave outside. So that's why you get the shadow from the point there. You can see that. Okay, so I need you to practice, and this one is the guideline for you. I start from 1A, drop down to 1A, and after that create trapezoid for the ring one, for example, to make the shadow point right there. After that, number 2 is the point right here. You need to drop down, or you project down it here, and after that create a trapezoid for the pink color. You got number 2 right there. Okay, continue with the other point. I show the number right here for you, easy to follow step by step to draw the the shadow. After you finish, you can shade or you can color, for I can see that's how much you done for the shadow. Continue with the other homework. This is the main homework, the task number 4 something, and this is the way how to draw, because it's a far with the wall, so you can see the shadow can be made right here also, and you need to do this one. And the other one is from the elevation, is down from the shadow, so you create this one. Okay, so this one we have 2 shadow from the top and the second also, and this is the guideline how to draw that. Okay, and finally this one is one with the part from the floor plane. You can see that it's not in the same plane, it's a little bit gap in, so that's why you see the main point right here, the main point right here, and the part of the gap inside is there, and you need to create the shadow inside there. And this is the curve. You can see the hidden line is the curve. You can see like this. If you project down the line like this for the cylinder, and half of the cylinder, you can see the line coming here. The part in behind of this one, you cannot see the line coming, because the line coming for 45 degrees. So that's why we see something here, but in the back side not. So now when you create this one, you need to create from here, from the cabin here, after that from here to the cylinder. And this is some of the hint for you can solve the problem in this task. Okay, so this is fill up the information, so you can get started from here, project down here, and 45 degree down, so you can create the trapezoid right there. Trapezoid right there. So you have 1 point, second point, and continue with that. But with this one is the end from the gap inside, so you stop right here, and you start with the smaller part right there, the point inside here. Again, just use the trapezoid and create the point right there. After that, you continue on of the point together, you get the shadow. Okay, that is all for assignment number 7. After this assignment, we have few more assignment, but I think that's number 8 very easy. I will show with you later, but now this is focus on this one. And any student finish from 1 to 8 can email to me. I will give you very special news for assignment number 9 and number 10. So, any student have missing any assignment, you need to canvas inbox for me, for I can help you something, or you need to do by yourself, but I need to resubmit before the deadline from assignment number 8. That's the last time for I can accept missing assignments. Okay, thank you so much for watching and hope to see you next time.